Springboks 61, Japan Rugby 7. Rainy season in London currently, and the two teams had to play in a wet pitch. So I think the Japanese played Australia last week. Was it Australia? Yes, I think it was Australia. In a very similar condition where it was raining, the pitch was wet. Yeah, but what I like to talk about this match is that we kind of like saw the difference between these two teams. We kind of saw the world champions, and we kind of saw the team that's still finding itself after years and years, you know. And the difference was clear. The difference was clear. And Eddie Jones, the coach of Japan, was sort of like trying to catch the Springboks on a break. His game approach was trying to use speed instead of that physical physique, which most of the team, we know that they fail. They fail against the Springboks because the muscles are there. You can't compete against a team that has innovated the bomb squad, using the muscles to win the games. So, but for Uncle Rassi, he was using both. He was using both the speed and the muscles, which is something that represents the South African rugby in general. Both the muscles and the speed. Ketley Arendse, Manilibog came in, and Sacha Freinberg-Mngomezulu, who was great in this match. I loved how he played this. These are one of those matches that when you look in the future, when you look at Sacha Freinberg-Mngomezulu's career, you will sort of like look at these matches like this, where he was outstanding, where he played his heart out. This is a player who comes into the Springboks in every test match, in every match, and he gives his 100%. Not that the other players are not giving their 100%, but Ngomezulu is sort of like at his peak right now, or he's gearing up closer to his peak, because each and every match that he plays, he gives out 100%. So shout out to Sacha. And then Ketley Arendse also impressed me. But also another player who impressed me the most was the captain of the team, Siya Kolisi, scoring the first try and another try and another try. He was outstanding in this match. And he was playing sort of like calmly. He didn't really like do much of that aggressiveness that he typically does, but he played, or maybe it was because of the wet pitch. He was sort of like calm, going about his business today in this match, and the inclusion of Portens. Rassi Rasmus is a man who enjoys experimenting, especially when it comes to young players. Giving Portens his debut against Japanese was great. He did well. I wouldn't rate him high or low, but he was sort of in the middle when it comes to performance. He did well, and yeah, man. This for me, this was one of these matches. Coming into this match, I already knew that the Springboks were gonna win this one. I already knew. Not that I'm undermining Japanese, but I know the difference between these two teams. I know the experience. I know the Springboks right now that beat the New Zealand, that beat Australia, came before this match. So I kind of knew that. Even when Rassi announced his lineup, I could see that he's not even taking chances. He's not even undermining the Japanese team, because they are a good team. They are a good team. Are they on the same level as the Springboks? Hell no. The Springboks are far ahead when you look against the Japanese. The difference between the Japanese and the Springbok is player structure. The Springboks has great players. Not just the first 15, but in South African rugby in general, Uncle Rassi has sort of like a buffet of players that he can choose from. He can choose in any team that he wants to. And the inclusion of Portens was sort of like a highlight of that the man is sort of like enjoying a great depth of choosing his squad. But shout out to the Springboks for this great win. This was humiliation. I could see even in the first half, before the first half ends, you could see Eddie Jones' face that it was telling that he's getting humiliated today, because of going into the halftime, the Springboks were already showing that we are not here to play, we are not here to joke. And they are on a tour series in London. The match was played in Wembley. And you could even see the turnout, the supporters turnout. They did really turn out people, but it wasn't a packed stadium. So yeah, man, great. Shout out to the Springboks. Shout out to the Japanese for trying their best. It wasn't gonna be easy as we expected. It wasn't gonna be a very challenging a match for the Japanese to play against the Springboks. I didn't expect any less when it comes to the Springboks. I'm sorry. Maybe most of you guys did, but for myself, I didn't. I could see a win coming from a distance. That this is one of those series that matches that we're gonna win. Before even stepping on the pitch, man, somehow I knew. Just looking at the lineup of the Springboks, you can tell that Angel Ras is coming in aggressively. So yeah, man, shout out to the Springboks for this great win. Shout out to the Japanese for trying their best. This is at least what they can do. This is at least the points that is 7. It's the points that you can get against these aggressive Springboks.